from a galaxy far, far away.
And a bookshelf straight out of the 90s.
From Thrawn to Dantooine.
And everything in between. This is Legends Look Back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Legends Look Back, proudly part of the Utini Podcast Network. This is a Star Wars books podcast for people waiting to digivolve into Ultimate, where we celebrate the Star Wars expanded universe and expand your universe one episode at a time. I'm your host, Jared Mays, and I'm joined tonight by my legendary co-hosts, the fan of the ever-losing LA Clippers, Freddie C.
Yeah, it feels real bad. But just to pay you back, Jared, today I'm going to drop some Star Wars Galaxies in this episode, so...
I had it coming.
Nice.
You heard her, you know her, you love her, unless you don't, but we do, and that is our co-host, Emily Daybeck.
Okay, I feel like Digimon vastly underrated in terms of all the other series at the time. I stinking loved Digimon. I feel like we really need to bring that one back.
It was cool. I liked it,
I've
too.
been binging it
Have
today.
you?
I discovered there was a remake show from 2020. I don't think I like it as much as the one from the 90s, but I don't have every single line memorized, so that's a perk.
Okay.
Well, that's 2 out of the 3 of the people that I'm introducing. The other one has a kind of like a tie-in to this book that we're going to be talking about tonight. That is, we call him Rick the Face Grace.
Because I've got a face.
Sure do.
Well, there's a character, Face Lorraine.
Oh, yeah.
Garrick. His name is Garrick, which is your actual
It's not spelled the same, but I was happy to see another Garrick in the lore. That always makes me happy.
You know, it's funny. You said, like, the face, and I'm looking like, yeah, the guy with the beard. And I look over, I'm like, nope, they all have beards. And then I was like, wait a minute, the guy with the glasses, like, nope, Jared has glasses, too.
It's the good-looking one. Yeah.
That's on
The guy with
I almost...
the face for radio.
That's right. You've got a face for podcasting, buddy. Yeah. Absolutely. Emily, you could have a beard if you tried hard enough.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Who says I haven't had one? You never know.
Our listeners,
At Dollywood
I almost said
with
they
your
wouldn't
bow tie.
know, but
That's true. That's
We-
true.
this episode's not live, so people can't see for sure.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Maybe
true.
by
I
the
can
time
have
you're
a
hearing
beard.
this, the beard could be there. No shave November. It's upon us.
It is. You know what else is? The Star Wars New Jedi Order Enemy Lines Roundtable.
Yes, it is.
Another duology.
It is Roundtable time. And so, yeah, another duology. This go around we're covering yet another pair of titles from the New Jedi Order, the Enemy Lines Duology by the late, great Aaron Allston. That is Enemy Lines Rebel Dream and Rebel Stand. And they are X-Wings and New Jedi Order crossover books with lots of Rogue and Wraith Squadron nostalgia. These books were published way back in 2002, originally as paperbacks, and then both books were bound together in one hardcover volume for the Science Fiction Book Club. And these are Aaron Allston's only New Jedi Order books. But of course, he also wrote several X-Wings books, as well as 3 titles in both the Legacy of the Force and Fate of the Jedi series. He's definitely a fan-favorite author, was known for his humor, his heart, and his Hawaiian shirts. And we have mourned his untimely passing since 2014. And the most recent wave of VLCs included one of his Wraith Squadron books, Solo Command, on store shelves now and available on Audible.
You know, it's interesting. He's written, 13 Legends novels?
It's a bunch.
One of the kings of legends.
Yeah.
He's on the Mount Rushmore for
I
sure.
can see why it did not disappoint this dude. It was not his first go round. Where was this in the
Great
series of like? Did he write this later into his career, or was this like kind of in the middle?
It's in the
Yeah.
middle. He started with the Wraith Squadron books,
1998.
unless
Those were in 1998.
Yeah, so
And then
only a few years
he
after
wrote
that.
Mercy Kill, which is in 2012. That was one of the last Legends books to come out, I think.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like a last hoorah, one more Wraith Squadron book for good measure before we say goodbye to Legends. And then also said goodbye to Mr. Allston himself. I remember seeing his death announcement on Twitter. Freddie, you and I were both very active in the fandom during that time. We were in similar circles but didn't know it, which is awesome. And it was just, it rocked the Legends fandom when he died.
Yeah.
Absolutely rocked the fandom. There was a celebration, or maybe it was a Comic-Con of some sort, where a bunch of Aaron Allston fans got together and wore Hawaiian shirts in his honor. There's like 100 Legends fans wearing Hawaiian shirts and took a big group photo op, and I was too shy to go. But now I've got friends, so we'll do it. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
We love Aaron Allston, love his work, mourn his passing. I've got his autograph. Thankfully, I won that, Freddie, through that program you and I both used to do. So I've got his autograph framed right next to my signed Wedges Gamble poster signed by both Stackpole and Mark Thompson. Right next to that, I've got my Aaron Allston autograph. Nice. But I think the saddest part is that we can't interview him. We'll never get a chance to talk to him about his work.
There are interviews with him that are in archives that we'll see if we get to by the end of the show.
Yeah, I've listened to some myself. Just a lovely, lovely person. But you can get your own copy of the Enemy Lines Duology because, drum roll please, we are doing a giveaway. So if you want your chance to win one of the Enemy Lines Duology hardcovers, this is the science fiction book club hardcover. It's a really good copy. It's in great condition. Not perfect condition, but I would describe it as great condition. You can win your own copy. Here's the rules. You just need to hop on over into our Discord. Go to utini.com/Discord. Join the Utini Discord. Pop in the hashtag Legends Look Back channel and leave us a comment. That's all you have to do. You can say whatever you want. You can say giveaway. You can say listen to the episode. Love you guys. You can say you guys friggin' suck, but I want the book. Don't say that. We'll boo you.
Aw, be nice.
But you'll still be entered into the chance to win because those are the rules. You have to do it between tomorrow, as of our recording this show, which will be Wednesday, November 13th, and then the next time the group of us gets together to record, which will be next Tuesday. So you've got 1 week, Tuesday the 19th. So between November 13th and 19th, comment something in the Discord. You'll be entered into a chance to win. We'll message the winner in Discord. You'll have 1 week to claim your prize, or we will move along. U.S. entrance only. Sorry, Frank. No take-backs. The book is in great condition, but we can't guarantee perfection after shipping. May the Force be with you all for your chance to win. But that's not all, Freddie. There's some other good stuff happening in the community, isn't there?
There is. We've got, I recall several new shirts, if that's right. I'm looking at them on Discord right now. We've got a really nice retro-looking. It pops out a bit. It says, let's see if I can make this larger. Tuning into Legends, or was it tuning into Legends, rewinding the classics?
You need some glasses there, Freddie.
The image
remember that
is an
time?
ant.
You remember that time that there was a mistake with one of our listeners? Rob tried to purchase a shirt, and he got one that was like, I'm a grandma who loves hunting, but doesn't take crap from nobody. And also, screw you and all of your friends as we stand and sing. I mean, it said something just ridiculous in 100 different fonts.
Oh, man, That was so good. Yes,
It was
I got a
not
bigger
error
photo.
on our end, by the way. That was the company we were working through accidentally sent the wrong custom order shirt. Just in case you were worried. But listen, if you love happy accidents, you never know what might end up in your mailbox one of these days.
So
Yeah,
good.
maybe that's what you have to comment if you want a chance to win one of these. The book is just comment, hey, tell me the story of this shirt, and we'll tell it all, and we'll show you the picture in Discord.
And it is well worth it, just so you know. I asked a couple years back, and it was definitely worth the
It'll leave you in tears. There's 3 designs, right, Freddie? We've got 3 designs.
Yeah, there's a
maybe
couple.
4.
There's a few designs. So there's that one there, which looks very 90s to me. It's got a very 80s looking, maybe early 90s looking boom box.
Yes.
And then we've got this, I would say it almost belongs in a bookshelf. I don't know how to describe it, but this next one I like a lot. Legends Look Back. Timeless Tales, Endless Memories. And it's a beautiful looking, I don't know, what is that, like a black hole-ish swirl, like the maw.
Oh, this is my favorite one. Yeah, it's like the unknown regions,
Unknown
right?
regions, yeah. Let's see. What other shirts do we have here? I know we've got a new...
Well, there's like the Legends Books community shirts, which are not necessarily Legends Look Back specific, but there's one that's kind of Thrawn inspired. Inspired. It's definitely not a ripoff of Thrawn, but it's like a blue-faced guy with red eyes.
I mean, pretty close.
Possibly a Chiss.
Yeah, but definitely not a direct copy of Thrawn for all of the Mouse's attorneys out there.
Right.
It's not. Okay, it's definitely 100%
Inspired
not.
by. They're really good. I actually
inspired
really like
by
this
them.
recent round of merch. I like it more, I think, than any other like release that we've had.
It's a lot more creative than we've
Yeah.
ever released.
And there's there's
sounds like-
different vibes because like it doesn't like if you want a more subtle look, like you've got that, and then you've also got like really outrageous. It kind of spans a nice little range there. It's really good.
Yeah.
Real.
My Legends Look Back tank that we first made back in like 2019,
Oh,
Freddie.
yeah.
I just finally have it broken in so well that it's like really, really, really soft because they were
Yes,
hard.
they
They weren't a
were.
real comfortable fabric. It was kind of crusty when you get it out of the box.
Yeah.
But now mine's nice and broken in, and it looks retro now because I've
Nice.
worn it so hard. Yeah, I've just been working out so much. You know, I've been wearing the tank top, trying to get half as ripped as Sabayoth up in here.
Yeah. So there's a few shirts to look after. Believe Legends Tee. There's a couple others. If you want to go check it out, I think just head over to our Discord because that just seems to be the place where everything.
That's the place, absolutely.
gonna be at.
We've got fun stuff going on there all the time, and we're gonna do a giveaway for a shirt or two around the holidays. So stay tuned for that.
One.
Yeah, Freddie's gonna pay for those. It's coming up soon. All right, how about we get into
Yes.
it? It's time for Enemy Lines. There's 2 books. Enough chit chat. Let's get down to brass tacks.
All right, spoiler alert. It is summary time. If you've not read this is your last warning. If you don't want to know, just shut this down. Go finish off your little books and then join us back here. All right, the Enemy Lines Duology, composed of Rebel Dream and Rebel Stand by Aaron Allston, weaves a tale of resilience, cunning, and humor amidst the chaos of the Yuuzhan Vong War. In Rebel Dream, Wedge Antilles leads a ragtag squadron of New Republic forces, including Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Jaina Solo, as they transform the planet Borleas into a defiant stronghold against the Vong. Their mission is as daring as it is desperate, to divert Vong attention while inflicting psychological warfare on their alien adversaries. This rebellious outpost soon becomes a symbol of hope, but the challenges are far from over. Jaina, still grappling with her role as the goddess in Vong religious lore, faces inner darkness and guilt, while Wedge's leadership blends tactical brilliance and rogue humor to create a resistance rooted in courage.
The momentum accelerates in Rebel Stand as the focus shifts to both strategic confrontations and deeply personal battles. Luke and Mara Jade Skywalker, along with several members of Wraith Squadron, infiltrate Coruscant, now overrun by the Yuuzhan Vong and reshaped into a living world they call Yuuzhan Tar. Their goal? To eliminate Lord Nyax, a twisted remnant of the Emperor's experiments, whose connection to the Force threatens to amplify Vong dominance. Meanwhile, back at Borleas, Wedge and his allies engage in a deadly game of subterfuge and surprise attacks. Han and Leia spearhead daring raids, embodying both defiance and levity, while Jaina's continued role as a living deity plays on the Vong's religious fervor to great effect.
And Allston masterfully mixes tension and lightheartedness, creating an action-packed plot punctuated by witty banter and heartfelt moments of camaraderie.
Camaraderie. How do you spell it, Rick?
CAMARADIER. Yeah.
Kind of fizzled out
I
there.
did. Yeah. Camaraderie.
That was a thing at our alma mater first day of school. It was like, could you spell camaraderie thing? Why? I don't know. Ask Rick in the Discord.
Camaraderie.
But it's time for the rating of the Enemy Lines duology. What are your impressions? If you had to give it a score, you had to give it one of our ratings of masterpiece, incredible, great, good, fair, or mediocre. Where to do these books rank for you guys?
I like this series a lot. I think it's very Aaron Allston has a pattern. You can definitely sense it here with just the intense fighting, right? The intense situations that they get involved in, and you're just it's constant action, which is crazy to read. But
he writes the action very well.
Constant action. Something's happening. Even if it seems boring, it's like there's plotting happening, and it's crazy. I don't know how to describe it, but this is a very
action-packed. I like that.
It's very action-packed, very highly rated in my NJO experience.
I'm teetering on great, not quite incredible for me. Would you go higher or lower than that? Like, I'm just shy of calling it incredible.
Let's wait till Trader.
Well, Trader's in a league of its own. That's next up. Rick, what do you think? Where do these rank for you?
Well, I enjoyed them, but honestly, I was a little disappointed. I don't know what I expected. I don't know if it's my expectations or what, but I think for me, there's somewhere between good and great. That definitely enjoyed reading it. I think I'm going to read it, or I'll enjoy it more on the second pass. But it just felt like after 2 books, the plot hadn't moved that far.
See, it's funny you say that because I enjoyed them less on my second reread.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, they did, like, the whole Borleas thing, like, all that's brilliant. Like, the tactics of that, I love the last battle. Like, that's the shining pearl of the last, of these 2 books, is that last act in, what is it, Rebel Stand?
Yeah.
And so that was fantastic. I love that. And, like, the build-up for it, so, yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, it was definitely really good. For me, my biggest criticism is the entire Coruscant mission so far just felt like filler. Like it had no purpose because they got in, they played around for a little bit, and they got out, and then got to the big battle, and that was the end of the book. And
that's a valid criticism. I've got some pushback, but let's hear from Emily. Emily, you liked them a lot. You at least liked the writing style.
I did. I thought it was really excellent foundation of it. It kind of felt like this was like the lead up to like a really big moment. So I'm wondering if he didn't lay a good foundation for the next one, because I know the next book, what is it? Trader is very, very much highly regarded in the Legends community. So I'm wondering if that's not in part due to the great foundation that Allston lays here. Because I admit it read a lot like a Rogue Squadron book with like filler. So it's like he tried to add a lot of elements, and in some regard he definitely did. Like I now am like not very much pro Kip Duran for Jaina, so like there's just he did a great job of like setting certain things up, and I appreciated that foundation. I thought I would say if I had to rank it, I agree with you, Jared. I don't think it's quite incredible, but it's definitely great. I enjoyed it. It was a great read.
I love the idea that in the like the planning meetings, they give Aaron Allston the script. They say, hey, we want you to, the outline, hey, we want you to write these 2 books in the New Jedi Order. And he's like, yeah, but you just want me to write Rogue Squadron and Raid Squadron books, right? And they're like, no, do New Jedi Order. And he's like, yeah, but for real, can I just do Rogue Squadron? And they say, no, you have to do New Jedi Order. And so he's like, so how many Yuuzhan Vong references do I have to have in my Rogue Squadron?
Okay. And some of the Yuuzhan Vong references, like all the stroking, no thank you. Like maybe there was a little bit too much description of things and the way things were described. I don't know.
Didn't notice this.
No?
The Stackpole was the one who brought us the medallion, not Allston, right?
I don't know. I got some dirty vibes.
Yeah, that's
Kevin J. Anderson.
Early. Yeah, that's early on.
No, it's Stackpole. I did notice that the Yuuzhan Vong armor, the infiltration team, the strike team, Luke and Mara's team, some of them are wearing living Vivandan crab armor. Luke's is synthetic. It's fake. It's fabricated. But some of them are wearing the real stuff, and it is described as throbbing on their bodies, pulsating.
There are some adjectives used that are...
do not like that at all.
I'm going to...
Which keeps things interesting. Like, if you're dozing off, you ain't anymore. That's all I gotta say.
That makes
they're fun. They're very fun.
Sound like a pleasant adjective comparison.
All right, what you got, Frank?
Yeah, I was just going to say there's a very nice non-moist interview.
Oh, gross.
November 2000. It's a vintage interview. It's on fanthatracks.com if you're looking for it.
So before this was even written.
And one of their questions is, do you have any new Star Wars projects lined up? Indulge us, please. And this is his response. Oh yes, I'll be doing 2 novels in the new Jedi Order series. I can't say much about them at this time, but I have received explicit permission to answer these 2 questions. And he's getting them most often. So,
Okay, hit us with
one,
Please mention the throbbing armor.
yes, Wedge Antilles and the Wraiths will be making an appearance in them. I also hope to do some work for Star Wars Gamer magazine. Somebody's got to find that now. There might be something in there about the throbbing, but like just going back to 2000, they were basically like, you're writing a Wraith Squadron book.
So they let him do that. Yeah, so they let him do it. I kind of find the first one to be a little bit more Rogue Squadron, and the second one to be definitely more Wraith heavy. And you can tell that he enjoys the Legends characters. He enjoys Booster and Wedge. So that's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to feel a little bit of fun
Yeah.
in the new Jedi Order. These are,
It is.
I think, probably the most fun new Jedi Order books.
Yeah. There might be something about the stroking and whatnot in other interviews, but we'll find it. We'll find it sometime.
And
Moving on.
let me just taper my criticism and my lower scoring. I don't remember if I said this on the show or before the show, but I am currently reading Traitor, and so I'm a little in the depressive stage right now, and so it kind of just
It's bleak.
Yeah, it just kind of colors my whole life. So it's like, yeah, the book is fine, it's decent, you know.
Rick is he's currently strapped upside down, hanging by his toenails in the embrace of pain, by the way.
that's
we forgot to
about it.
tell you guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
Poor Rick.
Yeah, Emily, the book Traitor, when you start it, be in a bright, happy place surrounded by your loved ones. Okay. Because the book opens up with Jason in the embrace of pain.
Yep.
And,
All I see is white.
It's bleak.
What
It's
a
very
lovely thing to
Oh.
read right before the holidays.
And
Well,
after
actually-
the election,
Great way
after
to
the
spend all
election,
It's
my free
actually
time.
quite fitting.
Love that.
I can't wait. I love that. But this is just so incredibly tonally different.
Yes.
And it's a breath of fresh air in a lot of ways.
It is. It kind of
at
felt like
least
coming
in
up
my
for air
opinion.
because I feel like we've just been heavy for so long. And it is nice to kind of get some crossover with Rogue and like feel like, okay, yeah, we can just like fight a bunch of like little ships and coral skippers and stuff like that. And like we can make jokes and there's a hope of like love and like maybe not everyone is dead and maybe we can have a plan and let's try something different, like go back to old school Star Wars. Like that was nice. That felt like coming back.
We love our old school Star Wars.
Yeah, we're like, let's get back to like the Resistance. I was like, yes.
Well,
Like,
I mean, you think about it. Coruscant's done. That's the head of the government. Done.
mm-hmm.
You've got some people who are acting as officials because honestly they are the last probably.
Yeah.
Multiple main characters dead.
Yep. And you've got, basically folks who are just like, what did we do? Everything we've been doing is not working. We clearly are doing a bad job. And Wedge is so amazing at just being like, all right, what are we doing?
I love Wedge.
and
oh my gosh.
yeah, he really makes this book. So
And the way that he's developed, he's grown, where he talks about when he gets back in the cockpit of a fighter, he's like, I'm getting too old for this. But he also, at that point, he used to hate the idea of being in a desk job, but now he knows his role is coordinating these big efforts, and it's not a desk job, but it's a big picture role, and it's a nice moment to see him kind of grow into where he is.
he can still fly.
I do love the scene. Yeah, I love the scene where he and Booster and maybe Tycho, it might just be him and Tycho. They're basically right before a meeting, kind of just having a heart-to-heart, and they're like, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Just kind of have this, they're never going to let us retire, are they? Kind of a moment, which is very fun. You can tell that Allston's having fun with it. There's a lot of characters really shine, Wedge especially. Another one who I think really does great in this series is Jaina. We had a Jaina dedicated book previously with the pink one,
She grew.
Yeah.
Dark Journey. So then we had some Han-centered books, the Lucino Agents of Chaos. Then we had the Heartbreaker that was Star by Star. But this time we get to spend some more time with legacy characters. You get Luke, in the second one, a lot of Luke, a lot of Mara. Get some Wedge Antilles in there. Was it refreshing for you guys to spend more time with your main characters from the old school Legends books?
Yeah.
Or did you feel like, where's Jason and where's the new characters? How did you think he handled that balance?
I really liked the motif of we're a rebellion within the official government, and that kind of felt super nostalgic and fun.
Yeah.
Of we're the rebels again, and so it was all those characters coming together in that way. Lando, I think, Lando has a couple roles in all of this too. That was like, yeah.
Oh, and he flies a freighter called the Record Time.
Uh-huh.
I love the name of that ship. That's great.
I love his droid.
Yeah.
Yes.
What the war droids? What are they called? The Yuuzhan Vong Hunters?
Yeah, his specifically. I can't remember what the designation is, but
Like Mark 1 or something. Or
yeah,
it's
right now.
I know. You can tell that his droid was probably the inspiration for Mr. Bones and the Aftermath series. I would say so. I mean,
I could see that.
Not super distinct, but just a very high personality droid with overpowered abilities.
Yeah, Emily, you enjoyed the Rebel Alliance resurgence here.
I did. Yeah, I feel like this felt to me like the turning point for the series. So it kind of feels like we've sunk as low as we can really reasonably go. Like it kind of has felt like, okay, there's no hope, there's no hope. And then now all of a sudden, with like the reemergence of all of these old characters and like kind of the way the writing style is, it's like, okay, don't give up hope. Like that this feels like a turn. It might not be.
That's a common sentiment.
Yeah. It might not be the only turn. It might turn again. But this to me feels like, okay, we're coming back up. We've hit rock bottom and I don't have to consider going to therapy or something about this. Like I could probably just
Nobody tell her.
Well, that's where I'm at right now. Where I'm like, there's a light.
Traitor.
I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like we're bringing it back.
Traitor is dark, but it's good.
Okay.
It's dark, but it's
Okay.
good. And so a lot of people do consider, the second half of Star by Star the turning point, and then we do kind of turn a corner here toward the end of the series. I do think this is a lot like getting that breath of fresh air, for sure. I like that comparison of it, feeling like you're turning a corner. I like that. I do love the moment, with the little rebellion within the New Republic. I love the moment where Jaina disobeys the direct order.
Oh yeah.
In order to save Jack. And she comes in and she's expecting to be dressed down by her superior officer. She's called into Wedge's office and she's like, well, this is it. My military career is over. I disobeyed a direct order to save my boyfriend. And then he says, we might just make a rebel out of you yet. And
Yeah.
it's so good. He's like, don't ever do that again. Right.
Speaking of intense moments, I think we'll get to it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save it because we've got battle strategy coming up. So let's just put it on hold.
We do have some strategy. With the characters here, with the good guys, before we move on to everybody's favorite, Lord Nyax, which of the X-Wing characters were you most excited to have back in these stories? Obviously, we had Wedge and Booster. Then we had the Wraith characters, if you've read those. So we've got Face and Kel. Kel was a lot of fun. He's like, so can I blow some stuff up? Let's blow some stuff up. They kept calling him Demo Boy. I liked having Kel back in these. Kel Tainer. Love Face, though. Gotta love Face. However, Rick, you've ruined him because your name is Garrick. I'm picturing your face making a goofy grin at me every time they say the word face now.
See, I picture like a battle-hardened Rick with like a scar down his eye, maybe just like just maybe grease on his face, just smudged a little bit.
Well, they say he's incredibly handsome, and he used to be like a holodrama star.
That's me.
So that's no offense, Rick, but
Rick the face.
I am the face. I accept. Thank you, Jared, for thinking of me.
Yeah. Maybe if there was one called the Farmer Tan, that one would be more fitting. I'm sorry,
That's
buddy, I had to do
Gavin.
it.
That's Gavin Darklighter.
Oh, Gavin.
Yeah, it's true. The moisture farmer Tan.
Yep.
All right, which of the X-wing characters? I'm calling dibs on Kel, maybe Face. Which of the X-wing characters were you most excited to have back in these stories? We had some even little appearances from Iella in here.
I love
role,
Wedge
but
and his
Winter?
family. Like that to me felt like hope. That was like the light of like, okay, like he held his family and said like, this feels like life, and like that.
Oh, when his daughters come in and
Yes.
hang out with him for a little bit. That
Was like, okay, I can trust my heart with these books again. Like they're not going to completely destroy me, hopefully. Anyway, I love seeing
Wedge has a daughter. Oh, what is his daughter's name? It starts with an M. Wait, she's a major character. She is the chief protagonist of a future Legends book. And so she's people are screaming at me right now in their cars or walking their cats or whatever. They're all just screaming at me what her name is.
Broke a dish in the kitchen. Others are washing the
I
dishes.
know. It's just slammed it against the floor. I'm sorry. Somebody's going to correct me in the
Is it
Discord.
Megan?
Megan Antilles? It's like
Mana.
Myra or it's not Mirax. Dang it.
do have
We're not going to be able to.
I'll look it up.
Mary Antilles.
Sayal. That's not the one I was looking for. Miri. Myri.
You Googled it,
Mary.
I did. I had to. Yeah, thanks, AI. Thank you, robot overlords.
right?
Is it off-brand Siri or is Siri off-brand Miri?
There is a Siri Legends character, Obi-Wan's girlfriend.
Yay.
Is named. Anyway. All right, so you liked Wedge's family, Wedge's daughters. Very sweet moment. What about you, Freddie?
I honestly, I'm a big Wedge fan. When I saw Wedge flying again and just in action,
I love that you could see it. You're reading a book, but you could see it.
yeah, and he's just still incredibly amazing at what
He's
he does.
the
Like
goat, man. He's the
he really
goat.
is.
It really is.
So I was prompted, like this. Okay, I'm really excited to have Wedge back. Like this feels so good to read. It honestly felt like a refreshing break from the Vong, even though the Vong were in there. But it was like reading.
I had enough of
an
them.
Yeah, it was like reading an X-wing book, and the hijinks, and So I looked up Wedge, and he's got a kill count of like 200 or something plus, which isn't for a pilot is insane. And it just in this book he continues to deliver. So I was just really happy to see that, and of course Booster, like the whole crew, Lando. It was the old crew.
I know. You do love Lando. Freddie loves Lando. I do like seeing Wedge pilot the Lusankya
Yeah.
back around
Yes.
from the X-wing books, and so this
That was
time the
huge.
Lusankya gets
Question.
some time in the moment, 15 minutes of fame. It's time in the sun, and they spear it through the Yuuzhan Vong world ship, and it's fantastic. Love that. What's up, Rick?
Isn't the Lusankya renamed in the New Republic fleet?
Oh,
They still call it the
there's Mon
Lusankya.
Mothma. He flies the Mon Mothma, and then there's the Lusankya.
I feel like for a super Star
Dark Empire.
Destroyer, you can't rename those suckers too many times. Like people just know. There's only
I'm thinking
like
of
few
a
of them.
comic. I'm thinking of a comic that Wedge is in command of a Super Star Destroyer, has a big New Republic emblem on it, and surely they didn't call it the Lusankya. I could be wrong.
Well, Dark Empire is not always respected continuity-wise
Okay.
by the rest of Legends.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking, but
them.
I just didn't know if anybody remembered the name, if that was it or not.
I just feel like you
Yeah,
can't
let us
name
know,
a ship
listeners,
Lusankya
if you-
and not expect to use that in more than
Right.
one. Like that ship, like that sticks
definitely,
out like the Lusitania in my head. Like
Oh,
it's right
man.
next to it. It's right there.
Yeah, gonna start World War I all over again.
The Pinta, the Santa Maria. Yeah, the Lusankya. Rage Against the Machine, anyone? Anyway, X-Wing characters you were excited to have back in the series. We've got 2 votes Wedge, 1 vote Lando. I loved the Wraiths. Rick, have you taken this one
I
yet?
mean-
Your favorite of the old school characters to get their moment in the sun?
Phew, Wedge is great. Tycho's great. He's there too.
Don't you have a dog named
I have a
Tycho?
dog named Tycho, so I always smile when I read Tycho. And
I've got a picture of it jumping all over Emily.
he's a good boy. And then I don't know. It's really Gavin is like in there for like a sentence, and
Not as much as he
No,
was in the
definitely not.
Stackpole books.
no, but just seeing him be the leader of the squadron and come full circle a little bit too is heartwarming.
Yeah, and on that note, it's fun to watch Jaina get her own squadron this time.
Yeah.
Though I loved the dynamic of her being in Rogue Squadron. I loved her with Gavin. I loved that. Love to see more of that. But Luke gives her his squadron, the Twin Sons Squadron. And the reason, of course, is that they want to make her to be very important in the eyes of the Vong.
Yes, I
which is a
love the
tactical-
psychological warfare elements.
Yeah.
Loved that.
Let's tackle it. Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's get into it a little bit. Let's bump down here a little bit in the notes to our battle strategies. There's a lot of that here in this book. A lot of tactics. This is, of course, what Allston
so
excels
good.
at. Character, and then like the tactics,
So
the strategy.
It
Freddie loved it. What about the tactics specifically for you? Was it the psychological warfare of it all, Freddie?
It was the fact that, I mean, there was a whole battle plan, right? Like once they told Wedge, "You're in charge. You're everything." He was like, "All right, I got a plan." And of course, he talked with the council, the ones who know, and of course they came to the agreement that we need to go back to this old style, right? Like, should we attack them as the Rebellion, as the New Republic? And then there's this bright idea: how about we attack them as the Empire? They're not gonna like it, and they absolutely did. And going to
the orbital bombardment
exactly
from the Lusankia.
100%. So the
Right.
whole point was they are trying to almost trick the Yuuzhan Vong, which Emily brought up so perfectly. It's 100% mind games at this point. Like, how can we play into their thoughts instead of doing what we've been doing? Let's sit down and think about this. And exactly that. They try to do something that they may have done in the past, so they do it again. But instead, let's have the Lusankia in the kill zone and just absolutely demolish everything in that area. Completely unexpected. From a playbook that the Vong have not experienced, because
They don't know the Empire.
they don't know the Empire, which was like, who cares? Destroy everything. If it's a beautiful forest with beautiful animals, we don't care. We're the Empire. That's exactly what they did. And it was, I mean, it's drastic. You can hear it in the book. Jaina feels like the anxiety, the fear of all the things that are in that area, in that kill zone, all the animals, and that's the Empire. So,
Yeah. Tactics-wise, we've got a couple things that happen. There's do we fight as the New Republic or fight as the Rebels? And then, of course, the twist at the end is they're going to fight like the Empire. And, Wedge brings up a point there that the New Republic military had lost their way. And we've been trying to fight them like an established government, right? We're asking for permission, and we're taking very, very logical, calculated courses of action that the Vong are seeing coming. They're predicting our moves. They're one step ahead of us. We're being cautious. They're not. They're taking worlds captive and killing civilians and taking prisoners and executing the prisoners because they know we're merciful and compassionate. And so they say we need to fight like the rebels. Rick, you play a lot of the Armada. You're into the tactics. All right. Do you think Wedge was right that the New Republic military had lost their way? And what is it about fighting like a rebel that offers a tactical advantage versus what they were doing? It's like the guerrilla warfare versus a warfare by committee.
So the New Republic government was definitely circling the wagons, trying to pretty much they were ready to sacrifice Wedge and his fleet for their own sake and kind of restrict the fleet to protect their home planets. And so Wedge knows that, they expect us to die out here. And so he has to come up with strategies on his own. I really liked the misdirection of Project Starlancer. The whole
Explain what it is to the listeners who may not know.
Yeah, so they basically are pretending like they developed a new super weapon that's like a Death Star weapon using a Lammet crystal from the Yuuzhan Vong. So it's using their own organic technology against them, kind of. But it's all just smoke and mirrors. And so they make that as if it's the target, and the Vong take the bait and just go all out trying to destroy this supposed superweapon that doesn't do anything.
They're offended that they've taken their technology to use
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Right.
And then they just, again, underdog, they use this hollowed out Superstar Destroyer to just, ram into the world ship, and an epic conclusion to all that. And it's just like, that right there is the underdog guerrilla warfare of misdirection and then sucker punch you right in the gut when you're not expecting it. And so it's
Love
pretty
it.
cool.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I forgot to mention what was it? Operation
Starlancer?
Starlancer.
Something like that,
Yep.
yeah.
Almost said Sparkle Fingers.
Sparkle fingers.
That's
It's so interesting because they used what they call them pipe fighters, and they were just modified Y-wings that would, I think the three of them that would form a triangle or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So they spent
Yeah, everybody knows the Y-wings are expendable.
they spent the time and resources to think of how can we split resources from the Vong while, it's such a minor risk for us, and we're focused 100% somewhere else. So, and they went for that gamble, and without like ELF, for instance, with all that the covert knowledge and counter, what is it called? Counterintelligence. Impossible. So it was so awesome just to see those characters come back, play the same awesome
that's what
role.
she does so
Yeah.
well. That's right, absolutely. Emily, you're a tactician at heart, a kitchen table tactician. It's in your family. It's what y'all do. What is the advantage tactically, in your opinion, of deciding no longer to fight the way we were fighting? Let's fight like rebels.
Well, I think it kind of stems from a couple different areas. The first is like a major principle of war is to know your enemy. And this is the kind of war that the Yuuzhan Vong are fighting. It's not for resources. It's not for power. It's an ideological fight. And so the way to hit them is to turn that ideology on its head and to kind of manipulate it and to play into their weakness. I loved the idea, like, instead of fighting against their strength, to fight against their soft spots and their weaknesses. Like, that's brilliant, because what they're doing is they're getting under the Yuuzhan Vong's skin and like just irritating the crap out of them until they make a mistake, and they will. So like it really is brilliant. I think it's difficult when you're a new government trying to make the transition into, like, you want to pretend like you're official, and it's become so political and so official for so long that they forgot that their grassroots is this way. And so that's what I loved about when Wedge came back, and brought like the rebel way of fighting back, because that's the way to win this fight, is to slip into their ideology, to irritate them, to attack from their weak spots, to sneak in. It's subterfuge and smoke and mirrors. That's the only way they're going to win, because they run out of resources. So they were like back against the wall. This is it.
Great answer.
Yep.
Well, I feel like the
love
New
that.
Republic was trying to fight a reasonable force, and the Yuuzhan Vong are just not reasonable.
Nope.
Right. No, and they have a totally different worldview. And so a totally different way of looking and operating, viewing the galaxy. And so one of the ways that they hijack that, and they began this in the last book, carry it out to a really, I think, interesting and comical conclusion in this book, was making Jaina Solo into one of the goddesses in their pantheon of deities.
What an interesting
They make
choice.
her out to
I love
be-
that, though.
Yeah. They make her out to be Yunharla, praise be, Yunharla, the Yuuzhan Vong trickster goddess. Okay, so they embrace the perception, and so the race squadron comes in and says, we're here to give you the home goddess makeover, and transform her image, the PR, of how the New Republic is talking about her, how she carries herself. Sit higher than people. Talk down to them. Tell them what they're going to do for you. Don't ask permission. These kinds of things. And I thought, oh, maybe that's what my wife's been doing these last 12 years. But do you think, is this an effective battle strategy, the psychological, use of Jaina Solo in this way? And then on the bigger picture, this is where Emily was leading us. What does this reveal? Give me some speculation here. I know what's going to happen. You guys don't yet. What does this reveal about the nature of what it might take to be successful in the battle against the Yuuzhan Vong? What do you think this could be hinting at? if anything?
You have to plant seeds of doubt and gain the moral high ground. So if
High ground is a big thing.
the high ground is a big thing, and you want to, like, if they're fighting because in their culture they must to gain honor, this is like how their foundation of their culture is about the fight. And if it looks like they have their gods and goddesses on the other side, then all of a sudden, instead of a united front, everybody's split. Like, it's classic battle strategy. Like, they do that. They're doing that now in the U.S. with the election. Like, foreign nations are affecting our point of view to split our nation. It's a very effective tactic.
And here what we found was they were hesitant to kill Jaina. They were in battle saying, don't shoot to kill. Don't shoot to kill. We have to capture her. We have to capture her. Don't shoot to kill. Somebody said, hey, they're shooting to kill. And War Master Sebang Law is like, don't do that. So
Yeah.
Doubt.
Great
They're
point.
starting to doubt. And that is the first concession that will inevitably lead to defeat.
Ooh, I want that on a business card.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so on a spiritual level, there's a phrase that gets kind of hopped around. I'm teaching a series on doubt right now, and one of the things that I keep thinking about is doubt isn't bad, but not being able to talk about doubt and explore doubt is bad. And their entire religion does not allow for that. It just shuts down. It's very authoritarian, very traditional
Right.
based.
Certainty.
Yeah. And so it's all these seeds of doubt are growing into a place where it's going to lead to absolute conclusions, and only the Sith deal in absolutes. So.
Beautifully said, man. Well, especially for people who do plant literal seeds that grow into weapons.
Right? Planting those seed chips.
Of doubt, right? The seed chips. Oh, man. Well, speaking of the dark side, we do have a dark sider in the second book, and that is Lord Nyax. Emily, you have some opinions on Lord Nyax. You wanted us to talk about Lord Nyax. What was it about Lord Nyax that for you were like, we've got to talk about this guy?
First off, can you just please describe him? Like, I want your, summary of what this dude is, because it was stinking hilarious. So please.
Okay, there's a lot. First of all, Freddie, how many lightsabers does he have welded to his appendages?
8 or 9, roughly, somewhere around there.
Ballpark.
Let's please keep it an even number.
Grievous, but they're all fused into him.
Yep.
Should
Yeah,
have Grievous?
think Wolverine.
He looks like a-
Wolverine, Grievous. Yeah.
What is he, like 9?
Like a high school offensive lineman.
He's like 9
takes
feet
himself
tall,
really seriously.
or something like that.
See,
Right.
I imagine him as like a skinny, ghoulish, because it talks about his body being stretched beyond normal proportions, and so that's what I pictured was tall and lanky and just creepy, gross looking.
So he's stringy. He's got
But he's not.
They have
lightsaber
something
elbows.
full of
Yeah.
right. So his backstory,
Okay.
Lord Nyax, they get to the planet, they infiltrate Coruscant, which that's the enemy lines in the titular title, right? Okay, so enemy lines, Luke, Mara, the team, Wraith Squadron.
Wait, this is Rebel.
Almost called them Wraith Squadron. Wraith Squadron gets to Coruscant, and they get there. They start,
Nyax.
right, they start hearing voices, and that stuff freaked me out. Voices? Yeah, it freaked me out. So then, it's just something about getting there, and the Yuuzhan Vong don't use the Force, so something is speaking out. There is no Sith in this era. Who could it be? It's just creepy. It was just
And the build-up for it was really good.
Luke's dreams.
The gradual introducing of, even the chapters that were from Nyax's perspective, when he kind of gains, what's the word? The ability to think.
Sentience.
Sentience, yeah. And then he starts gathering his followers that he manipulates and stuff. That was really well done, I thought.
Yeah, the slaves. So the backstory on this is only marginally explained in the book. This comes from Legends blockbuster, Children of the Jedi. Okay, all my homies love Children of the Jedi, and by that I mean It's absolute garbage. It is F tier Legends. I hate to break it to you. It is a tough read. It's a tough read. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Irek, Ismarin.
Yeah.
Right? Irek Ismarin, the son of Emperor Palpatine's concubine, Roganda Ismarin, has this son who then grooms him to be the Emperor to succeed Palpatine. That's a lot of the plot of Children of the Jedi. They have a super weapon Star Destroyer called the Eye of Palpatine. There's Jawas and Gamorreans in there. It's a whole thing. That's where there's the spirit of Luke's Jedi girlfriend that he falls in love with. It's a mess. It's a mess. This guy comes out of that mess. He survives. He then is buried in the bowels of Coruscant. His mother takes him there and starts experimenting on him to make him more powerful. He's trained by Lord Cronal, who is the villain of Shadows of Mindor, Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Mindor. This is the most Legendsy character that has ever existed. Fight me. There's so much lore.
Okay, so just to be
packed
clear,
into this
to make
character.
sure I understand. So he's a clone.
No.
Genetically modified.
An Alderaanian.
Son of Palpatine and some concubine.
No. Not Palpatine. We don't think. It's gray. It's gray. We don't
Is
know
he
if he's
made in
actually...
a lab or like organically produced?
It's just an organic kid.
He was
Are we
born.
sure?
And he was normal.
He was normal.
he was normal.
But he was groomed to be emperor there after all the fiasco of the failed coup, the attempt to siege the imperial government. That all fails in Children of the Jedi. She sequesters him away deep in the bowels of Coruscant, starts experimenting on him, trained in the dark side arts by Lord Cronal, who stabs him through the freaking face with a lightsaber, okay? And when he gets stabbed in the brain with the lightsaber and survives, that's when he loses his mind.
So he's got
and
some
his brain.
lobotomy after being implanted in the crust of Coruscant, as most great legends are.
He's a cyborg.
So
He
in those
emerges.
decades in between, in the decades in between that then and here, he has no mind. He's a lab rat, and they've pumped him full of steroids and grafted lightsabers
he have a
onto all his
six-pack too?
joints.
Maybe.
Can't remember, Freddie. I think probably.
Not in my mental image.
Stretched out six pack.
See, Rick, I just think he's like a giant. Like,
A giant with light.
Goliath.
he's like 9
Darth
feet. He's
Goliath.
3 meters, right? So that's like roughly 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
mean,
just
in
this
fairness,
behemoth,
I
massive
see,
everything.
I
His
see the
mom's
lightsaber
experimenting.
fusion. I see that for sure, especially if he's teamed up with the Yuuzhan Vong, who are all about physical modifications. I feel like they would feel like his unification with a non-organic object. I'm wondering why they are okay with that.
Oh, they hate
Well,
him.
he's not.
He's a
I don't
cyborg.
like
They
Yeah,
hate
that's a mistake in
Jedi.
the summary from earlier.
Force sensitive.
That was AI trying its best, but yeah, that was wrong.
Okay, so they hate him.
So that's actually
Oh, yeah.
part of the fun here is Luke and his buddies team up with the Vong to take down what is this? Ismarin. What's his name?
Lord Nyax.
Lord
Nyax, right.
But he
And so the actual name.
Did he
Go ahead.
co-opt? I was going to say, did he co-opt that name, Lord Nyax? Because that's
Right, that's not his name.
No.
Right.
He's a legend.
there's a legend of Lord Nyax.
There's layers of legends here. He's a Corellian legend of the boogeyman. He's the Corellian boogeyman.
Yep, exactly.
And yeah, it's a lot.
And there's
It's a
even
lot.
a cult.
That's too much for one character. Does he die?
Correct.
Or does he live on?
Well, that's actually
Fake Lord
if you're
Nyax
on the
dies.
Wook.
But legends.
Luke feels him
never
die.
die.
Luke feels him die. However, the Wook says it's not certain.
I feel like that's a lot of backstory for a character in a single book.
So here's
No?
the funny thing, Emily. Lord Nyax in this book is about maybe 15% of the actual story of Lord Nyax.
No, go to his Wikipedia page. Shout out to the Wook. I read it today. Took me an hour.
An hour?
There's a
There's
lot.
a lot of Lord Nyax.
I mean, there's such promise in this character. There's a lot going on there.
And here it is. Everyone,
pro-
get your toothpick holders out. But there's also a major reference to the cult of Lord Nyax in Star Wars Galaxies when you go to Corellia.
No.
Yes, and there's a fake Lord Nyax in his place, so this is the second fake Lord Nyax.
There's 2 fakes? What?
Yeah, so this is not actual Lord Nyax. He hijacks that name because while he was brain dead, he lost his mind. But so he's in that laboratory. Then the Vong's terraforming causes an earthquake, which allows his escape. So that's how he's now ranging free on Coruscant. He kills his mother, who he doesn't know is his mother, who's been experimenting on him. Then, of course, tries to mind control Luke Skywalker. Nice try, buddy. Do y'all think, all right, Nyax, Rick, you messaged me about him the other day. He threw you for a loop. Was his inclusion, in your opinion, an interesting twist or a narrative detour?
It was fun, but it didn't do anything in the Yuzhan Vong story. And it literally, you could take it all out and it not affect the big story at all. And so that was frustrating. I would like there to be a little bit more payoff for that, or for that something about that encounter to come up again later. Maybe it does. I don't think it does, but it was fun and it was cool and unique. And so like that was a fun story, but I was in the mood to just keep reading about this war and what was going on and what's happening with Jason and all that. And so I was ready to get through it. And then it just was a big it was super rushed. Once they come back from Coruscant, the transition from coming back to Coruscant to engaging in the final act of the big battle was so rushed that it was like, we're back. Oh yeah, now here's your squadron to command. Okay, here's what you're doing. All right, time for the big battle scene. And it just was, again, it was just like people playing with their little characters, putting them where they want them to, and moving on to the next scene.
I liked that there was a Darksider, because there's really not been.
That's true.
In this series, so I liked having just a tonal change, a shift. And there is payoff regarding them having spent time on Coruscant, on Yuzhan Tar.
Good.
So Yuzhan Tar as a setting, as an ethos, does matter.
Okay, sweet.
But Nyax himself, it matters backwards in the sense that Ismarin's story pays off, which people were clamoring for. Let me tell you.
Okay,
they were. Not.
I mean, if you look at if you look at the Wook, there's Lord Nyax, or rather, what's his name? Irek Ismarin.
Irek.
Yeah, Irek Ismarin is in so many different stories, and it's almost like this is kind of the end of that story, kind of wrapped up with a bow.
You know what they say: either die a hero or live long enough to see you become a genetically implanted dark side cyborg
Lightsaber.
with genetically implanted lightsabers on your knees.
Heads and shoulders, knees and toes.
Well, he's the sequel, though. You asked if there's payoff. In the next one, he plays Twister with General Grievous, and
That's
let me tell
right.
you, it's messy.
Man.
It's messy.
I forgot.
All right, Rick says he wishes there was payoff. Emily, is this an interesting twist or a narrative detour?
I love it. I mean, like, obviously it's ridiculous, but it's like delicious ridiculousness. I love it.
That's what we're here for with Legends, isn't it?
Yes.
Freddie, what do you think?
This was one of those moments where I was like, I know this name. I don't know how I know this name. And of course I was like, there's 2 names, right? There's Eric, which I feel like that is from other legend stories that I've just cobbled together. I'm like, oh, okay, that's who this kid turned out to be. Interesting. And then there's the Star Wars galaxies, fighting against those cultists, and just putting it.
It all ties back to Star
back.
Wars galaxies in the end.
Eventually, that's it.
It all comes back to Star Wars galaxies. Oh, for better or for worse. Well, do you have new Jedi Order fatigue yet, guys, or are you in the groove with the series? Before we move on to Traitor, let's check the temperature.
Can't stop. I mean,
all right, Freddie's feeling it.
Invested this many books, 12 books in this point.
Yeah.
Emily, how about you?
The end.
I mean, I've heard a lot about Traitor, so I'm very much looking forward to that one.
Okay. Feeling some anticipation for the next one. Rick?
Both. It's kind of like I hate myself. but I want to keep going. Like it's this is so good.
I'm there too. For sure.
I really am enjoying the ride, but like I'll look at other books like, I want to read that. Take a break from to take a break and do
I made
something
the
different.
mistake of reading another book. I read the new High Republic book. Loved it.
Haven't done any of those yet.
Tears of the Nameless. Loved it.
Oh,
Got
man.
back into New Jedi Order and was like, I live here now.
Yeah.
I just live here. But
Yep.
Trader's great. I'm looking forward to it as well. Well, guys, we've been doing some other fun stuff behind the scenes. Freddie, we just launched our new 90s nostalgia show, Retro Roundhouse. We talked about that recently. It's in the podcast feed near you. Have you shared it with all your friends and family? Everybody's liked and subscribed, I suppose, writing us reviews.
100%. Yeah, everyone likes to, I've had a few talks already with folks who were like, so you have that Star Wars podcast? I'm like, yeah, now I got this other one. They're like, what is it about? And it's a nostalgic kick in the face is what I always start off with.
That's right. It's Rugrats, but also Hocus Pocus sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to that. You can check that out along with our tremendous lineup of shows in the Utini Podcast Network. We've got the Cosmic Force, Star Wars Archives, Utini Show, Utini Canon Book Club. We've also got Bounty Hunt and Dice Wars, both of which are on a bit of a hiatus, but they're out there. Check them out, and we would love to know what you think. And if you, of course, have downloaded and listened to Retro Roundhouse, hey, leave us a review, subscribe, and let us know what you're thinking about the show. Pop on over in Discord to let us know there. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Legends Look Back. If you're looking for other podcasts to expand your fandom, check some of those out. But let's thank the United, Freddie.
Yeah, thank you to the proud members of the United. Special thank you to Brian Dooley, Carl Sander, Anthony Shulo, and Michael Fry on our High Council for their amazing support. Couldn't do without you.
Indeed. Thank you, guys. If you would like your thoughts read on the show, you can email us at legendslookback@utini.com, and we're also on Twitter at legendslookback.
Let's keep the party going and hop on over to Discord, where we are continuing the conversation with other Utinians about this week's episode in their recently resurgent Legends Look Back channel.
That's right. Leave us a comment between now and next episode. You'll be entered for a chance to win the Enemy Lines Duology. And that's going to do it for us for now. Keep exploring, keep sharing, and let's keep on expanding the universe together. May the Force be with you.
This is a Utini broadcast.